What's up, man? What's up, everybody? Um, this is my first official post on my new YouTube channel, The Thought Report. And for people who know me on social media, at least, I go by a few different names: Mr. Deeper Thinker, Conscious Lessons. But I think I'm gonna marry the Conscious Lessons name. I post videos on Instagram and things like that, but over the years, people all, I've been hearing a lot that I should do a podcast or something, whatever you want to call this, vlogs. Because I'm just one of those jokers, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to work on too, to be an effective communicator. Over the years, I've gotten very emotional about things that I see and don't like or don't feel is good and things of that nature. So what I'm going to try to do is this is going to be my life vlog, my life vlog, like reality, true reality TV. Many instances I'm going to and over the time I'll get a little bit more. I'm going to put some work into this. I'm going to get me a space, create a nice space to do this. Also, random, where I'm at, places I go, people I talk to. I really want to get to the point where I get good enough at this where I include people, because I want dialogue. I want to create dialogue, and I want to create dialogue in a rich, raw environment. And as time goes by, you'll begin to see what I mean by that. So what I'm going to try to do is post. Well, I'm going to be posting things like this where I try to think my ideas through and be concise, not try to shove life into one moment. There may be some posts I do where I'm out partying and I'm sloppy, but it'll still be love. I'm going to do posts where I go out to certain events and then I get a couple of people and we talk about who is there with me, and we talk about the experiences. So it's just me talking about anything. So, but today's topic, I want to talk about the movie Queen and Slim. As I got older, it became very hard for me to watch movies, man. I mean, anything, action, I don't care what it is, because I just when you become conscious or accept, or consciousness force you to accept your consciousness, it's hard to watch things that's illogical, unrealistic, slapstick. It's just hard. So my sense of humor is, I lost that a little bit to some extent. I watch movies now and it's like I can't watch the movies with the woman that's captured by a gang of killers who've been killing their whole life and she just happened to spit in their face. Or women and men who don't get dirty. And even the handsome superheroes. I'm getting tired. I can't watch it. I did movies, but Queen and Slim was a movie that I didn't have too many old boy moments. It's a good movie. But I had a conversation the other day that it brought me face to face with the question of why is it a good movie? Now I want to preface this conversation and many others with this. To think deeper about subjects, you have to be someone who, I think, someone who feel the pain of society, humanity, whether it's cultural, whether it's racial, whether it's societal, economic. You got to be someone who can sense and aware and accept that there's something wrong with humanity. So speaking as an African American, this is essentially African American movie, and I don't think we have the luxury to just live a long life and go along. So we have to look at things critical, especially art. So I had this overwhelming feeling like, yeah, a great movie, but I was never really asked why. So I said, okay, all right, Why is it a great movie? And I said, well, it's a black movie, and we support each other. But the question was asked, which had me really think, well, what did we get from the movie? What did we learn from it? So my first initial response was like, all right, well, I like the scene when whoever didn't see this movie, this would be a spoiler. I did like the scene where, when they went and they was traveling in the South and they went inside the bar, which was crazy. Okay, that was one of the oh boy moments. Now why the hell y'all stopping? But anyway, let's let that slide. They went to the black bar and they was worried about people knowing who they is, and eventually it was indication that everybody knew who they was. And the powerful moment was that they were supporting them. So you had a black community who was supporting their own, not just supporting their own who went and murdered the cop, but the storyline was relatable. So here's what it addressed. It addressed current social events, police brutality in America, specifically aimed at people of African descent. So you had a good concept, a cop, a racist cop, or an indifferent cop, a cop with extreme indifference to possibly a people of color. And what I loved about the artistry is that they showed the picture of the cop's daughter. So he's in his car with a picture of his daughter. So he's someone who have love for somebody, right? He loves something, his family, his wife. But looking at a black man or a black woman, that same love wasn't there. It was extreme indifference. So when they go along, they show that, they shot and killed the cop in defense, self-defense. Okay, I appreciate that they addressed a common thing, and then they went on a run. Then the scene with the love. But I asked myself, well, how the hell a movie like this really get out without, because these police organizations, it's no joke, right? So my man, from this conversation I had with one of my mans, I was like, okay, like he had me thinking about this shit like I was supposed to be thinking about it, critical. But I realized you can't talk critical about things to everybody because everybody is not there. Some people may think, oh, you always got to find something wrong. So this is a thinker's video right now about the Queen and Slim. Great movie. However, here's what I noticed about it. On the one hand, it addressed current events. It addressed, it showed some glimmer of hope of a community supporting each other. But other than that, it didn't really provide any real substance for us. Almost everybody in the movie that was black was dysfunctional. Her uncle, they showed him dysfunctional. They gave an indication of some PTSD from his military days, but that doesn't explain him living in a home with two women plantedly clad, dressed where they call it dysfunctional, crazy, and just ridiculous. I said, okay, that's a good one. Then they showed how the police force didn't give a fuck. It's part of that language, YouTube. The police force didn't care. They never showed a scene of the police force actually looking at the evidence, the video, because evidently the video was there to show the scene in full because it was being recorded from the police car. So never did they address the police self-correcting itself. Any scenes where someone's talking about, well, look, the police did this. They didn't really show that. They showed us marching and arguing and screaming, but they didn't really show that concept. So the police, so they appeased the police force, and they pleased that part of America who have extreme indifference to this subject. So the police force, they showed them working their system, going after them. Then, the end of the movie, they get, and this is Florida, so I got to give them points for realism, but they get one of us to sell us out at the end. Then at the end, Queen and Slim is unarmed. All the police for two people come up, roll up. You got the female cop, white cop, who's nervous. Even though these are professionals, supposedly professionals with guns and abilities given to them by law that can trump our civil rights, they behave like some kids with guns. Somehow, a police officer, a nervous one, a scared one, shoots a gun. They let off 1,000 bullets. So, which is the calling card of police in America. They love shooting. So here you have a scene where they just blew everyone away. Queen and Slim just shot him up. I said, aha. That's how they got this movie across. They placated that part of white America that has indifference to the issue of police in America killing unarmed people of African descent. They placated that part of white America who want to believe that black families, especially men, are dysfunctional. They even placated the scenario of a black man who has a menial job working in a supermarket and a black woman who's actually quite successful or who has a career. She's a lawyer. So after this conversation I had with my brother, I was like, damn, this is deep, man. So does it take away from Queen and Slim being a good movie, a great movie? Nah. But when we say great movies and we're so happy for these movies, we're so proud, I do believe it's important for us to step back and say, okay, what do we get from the movie? What did it teach us? I'm in the opinion that Queen and Slim being a good movie, a good drama movie, dramatic, I don't think it really taught us anything. But it is something to learn from it. What y'all think about it? Queen and Slim. If you haven't seen it, I recommend going to see it. It was good. It's a good movie. The acting and stuff, but I did question, how did they get this wide like this? Because even Nat Turner, these other movies wasn't even I forgot the name of the movie, but these movies they had these stuck in limited theaters, and this one was about them killing a cop that has a beautiful young daughter, a white man and a white woman. That ain't easy. Listen, my videos are open to everyone, even racist pigs, indifferent dogs, mean humans, ignorant humans who will not be able to contribute anything thought-provoking to my post. But I invite y'all. And in some cases, I might